It's the turn of the individual compound men's medalists. We start with the bronze medal match between Bair Shigaev and Hadi Nori, RAF versus the Islamic Republic of Iran. Another high-quality match in store here. Shigaev is the Paralympic mixed team bronze medalist from Tokyo. Hadi Nori, he's been a world champion, competed at the Paralympic Games in Rio 2016. Shigaev lost to his teammate Japov in the semi-final. Nori lost to a self-anointed armless archer, Matt Stutzman of the USA. So they both come off losses here for this bronze medal. A tricky match, perhaps the hardest in world sport, but certainly the most important. A place on the World Championship podium at stake. Straight into the center for Shigaev. Nori not far off, but that is a 9. 3 arrows per end, shot alternately, 5 ends here for a place on the podium. .210 sandwiching that 8 there for a 28, but Nori can eke out a 1-point lead here with a 10. Just into the 9, so 2 different ways to get to 28. They're all square. Nikki, anything you're spotting there about technique that gives us any clues as to what we might see moving forwards?
Yeah, just looking Nori shooting another kind of hinge release, I guess. So thumb on as he comes up, and then we saw his thumb come off and just trying to pull. And you know, it took quite a long time, didn't he, on that second shot? But he's not far out on these at all. We've just got to settle into the match now, stick with that process, see what happens.
Agents retrieving the arrows. I often wonder how much coach can make a difference when you get all the way through to the meaty end of the competition. They're not going to change any tactics, are they?
Well, potentially. I think it's fairly important because either of these guys can shoot a 10, right? So it's the state of mind you're in right now, and your coach can affect that.
Well, we don't have enough time to get into that in any great depth, but it is all square. Shigaev will shoot first in end number 2. didn't look happy with that. Still doesn't look happy with that.
Group just low. He made an adjustment before that shot. I think Nori here is shooting maybe a resistance release. So you see that thumb come off, and then I think it's going to be a resistance activated. You just push and pull a bit harder until it goes off.
Just clipping the line there for me, so a 56 is the finishing score. I wonder if that first arrow might get a little look at, though, while we wait for the target judge to confirm that. Nikki, we just go back to talking about the coach a little bit, because I think it is an interesting point. They're not going to be looking at changing well, tactics is not really the order of the day. You've got to shoot tens, that's the idea of the game. But is it more about that mental side of things in the break? Just, you say that it's the coach can affect how you feel and what you're thinking.
Absolutely. You know, this sport is a really, really big mental game, particularly compound, I think, because you get to that, especially, you know, stop of your bow, and then you've got this time where you can think, or you can have a process and what you do in that space. So, yeah, the coach's role in between ends, you know, they're both up there with their archers, is... Well, for me, what I wanted from my coach was just to distract me, make me laugh, make me feel something different from that pressure and tension of shooting those arrows. And we often see that, you know, smiling and laughing on the line, and that's great because you can't concentrate for long periods of time. So it's a release, and even with that stress, it helps release that stress. And then, right, we're back on it now. We're going to reset, think about your shot routine, off we go.
Yeah, so it is an important job. And I'll tell you what is really important here, the markup of the arrow for Hadi Nori. He has been pushed up to 57 points, so we are still all square. Shigaev, RAF versus Nori of Iran. Shigaev to shoot first in the third.
I could almost see that going high. I just saw that front hand move up a little bit, and off it went into the 9.
Just a long hold there. Got a really good view of the spirit level at the end of the sight there. The bubble moving left and right. They're going to try and keep as steady as possible, or release when it's absolutely bang where they want it. Different sight here for Shigaev.
Yeah, I think he did have a bubble in there. I think it was just a little bit harder to see, but there's obviously lots of different models out there. Some are easier to see than others. Really clear in this picture. You can see a little fibre pin that he's aiming with above it, and that bubble just moving left and right, like you said.
9.
Still nothing between them. The 10 adds an element of pressure here. Still making minor adjustments there, Shigaev. 10 required from Nori to keep things all square. Ooh. Called a 10 in venue.
It's so hard to tell. You know, when we've got that camera angle of the arrow going upward, we just can't see the line.
Smiles for Shigaev. And here we go for a measure of this one. This bottom arrow, is it touching the line? It's very difficult to tell from that angle. I think it's actually pretty difficult for the target judge to tell. He's gone and had a really good look at this one.
Yeah, it's important they look from both sides. What they're looking for is, call it down, pointing down. They're looking for, can they see any of that gold in this instance? So if they can't tell, if they just don't know, and they can't see any other than the black, then they've got to call it up. So he obviously felt he could see a little bit of gold in there and marked it down.
Well, there we have it. The new process, the new protocol for the judges there. Just pointing the finger down so we get a very clear view on the TV cameras. And it's Bair Shigaev, the world number 2, who's just eked out a 1-point lead. 2 more ends to go, so it'll be Hadi Nori to shoot first in end number 4. He prepares, and the flag of his country on his chair just starting to flutter. Is it getting a little windy at the on the shooting line here? It looks calm down at the other end, 50 meters away. Just what he needed to settle his nerves. Still making a tiny adjustment though. Well, there you go. Just like that, we are back to an all-square game.
Yeah, these sights are so technical now that one turn of a sight is like 20 clicks. So we keep seeing them making adjustments, but it's just such a tiny amount probably that they're changing it by. But psychologically, I think you sometimes just need that to think, yeah, just a little bit more, get it centered as possible.
You can feel the tension ratcheting up, can't you? Pressure on now. And pressure has been applied in a big way. A 1-1-2 turned around from a 1-point lead into a 1-point deficit. And Hadi Nori of Iran leads this one. That final 10 in that end for Nori really did appear to apply the pressure. Did you see anything technically wrong with Shigaev's shot?
No, nothing specific, but like you say, tension is all on here. I mean, they're fighting for this bronze medal at World Championship, so the pressure is going to get to you. The match is building. That's the 4th out of the 5 ends. You've got to stick to the process, keep doing those normal shots. So we were just talking about the sight movements and the clicks. So I was explaining how, when we move the sight, we'll see them often reaching for their sight. There could be 20 clicks in one turn. One turn is one movement, one thread. So it's a couple of millimeters. So a whole turn might not even move the arrow by a colour band. So they're tiny, tiny movements.
Tiny movements on the sight. Those tiny movements make a lot of difference 50 meters down the range. And sport at this level is all about small details. Shigaev starts the 5th end, trailing by 1. Well, that looks on the line. It's called a 9 in venue, and we're all square again.
Sounded like he hit the other arrow, didn't it? I think he's going to make a line cutter on the line.
You could see the end of the stabilizer moving around here, so this is a massive opportunity. Bronze medal will be Shigaev's with a 10. He's put it into the 10 and he's put it out of reach. A 1:42 finish can't be matched by Hadi Nori. Difficult arrow to deliver here, but the pressure's off and he whops it into the 10 for a 1:41. So an incredibly tight match, but it is Bair Shigaev who's made it through to the podium. He will be back here on the range to collect his medal very shortly. The absolute despair there of the former world champion Hadi Nori from the Islamic Republic of Iran. It was not to be here in Dubai. Bair Shigaev has taken bronze. We wait for the final confirmation, of course. Scores called in. Picture tells 1,000 words. Disappointment right now, but I'm sure Hadi Nori will be back, getting comfort from his coach. There we have it. Bair Shigaev of the RAF has taken the bronze medal here in Dubai at the 2022 World Archery Para Championships, and he will be back to collect his medal very shortly. Don't go far though. We've got one more to go here on the first day of 3 live days of coverage here at these championships, and it is the gold medal, the compound men's individual, and what a match we have to finish things off.